There are three stages for the conquest of the Mughals in India. The first stage was from 1526 to 1530. They were focusing to overwhelm the Afghans and Rajput. The second stage was from 1530 to 1540 in the time of Humayun. He tried to attack on Malta, Gujarat and Bengal, but he couldn't. When Shah Jahan defeated him, Humayun fled from India. Then Shah Jahan could revive the power of the Afghans. In the third stage, from 1545 to 1556, Humayun renewed Mughal Empire and Akbar strengthened it. Zaharat and Muhammad Babur had a strong desire to recover the throne of Timur. But he was unlucky. He couldn't conquer Samarkand in two wars led by himself in 1497 and 1503. He planned for an attack on India as his predecessor, Timur did. In 1504 Kabul became his honor. Once again Babur attempted to conquer Samarkand in 1511 with the help of Shah Ismail, the king of Safavids in Persia. But he couldn't. Then, Babur left his dreams and desires. That time, he decided to search for his luck in the east and south. He found the opportunity to attack India by the help of some people who didn't satisfy the Lodi Sultanate. He defeated Ibrahim Lodi in the Battle of Panipat in 1526. Some Muslims agreed with Rajput to fight against Babur, but they didn't succeed. Babur's army defeated Manu Singh in Agra in 1527. Mahmud Lodi, the son of Sikandar Lodi, was in Rajput's army. After the war with Rajput, he turned to Bengal and conquered it in 1529. Babur was died in Agra in 1530 and buried in Kabul. At the time he was 48 years old. Babur had a great position in the history of Asia. After the death of Babur, Nasiruddin Muhammad Humayun, the eldest son, took over the Sultanate. He was lazy, so he was unable to control his armies and leaders. He faced many enemies from every side. There was no unity among his family members. Some of them tried to take over the rule. Shah Jahan, Sultan of Bengal, defeated him in the Battle of Kannauj in 1540. Then Humayun went to Lahore, but Shah Jahan followed him. He arrived in Iran in 1545. He spent 15 years in Iran, awaiting the opportunity to attack India. His goal was achieved only after the death of Shah Jahan and his son Salim. The followers of Shah Jahan were weak. Then Humayun decided to utilize this opportunity. He reached India by defeating Sikandar Shah, Sultan of Punjab, in the Battle of Sirhind, and he rebuilt the Mughal Empire in 1555. Humayun was died after 1 year in 1556. Akbar was declared as next ruler when he was 13 years old. Punjab, Bihar, Melwa, and Gujarat were under the Sultanate of Sair when Akbar was new ruler of Mughals. Akbar defeated Humayun, minister of Adil Shah Sari, in the Battle of Panipat. The true rise of the Mughal Empire and its expansion was since the Second War in Panipat. Akbar could make a political unity between North and Central India. Akbar tried to make cooperation with Rajputa and included them in all activities. They gave many services to Mughal Empire. Some kings of Rajput underwent to Akbar. It helped to expand Mughal Empire. His brother, Mirza Muhammad Hakim, governor of Kabul, led a revolt against Akbar. Then he turned to him and defeated Mirza in 1581. Akbar was the first to add Kashmir, which wasn't become entirely under the Delhi Sultanate, to Mughal Empire. The Mughal Empire was expanded when Ladakh, Orissa, Balochistan and Kandahar became under it. Akbar went to southern India to expand empire. Ali Khan Farooqi, Sultan of Khandesh, underwent to Akbar without a fight. Mughal army conquered Sultanate of Nizam-Shah in Ahmednagar. Akbar was died in 1605 at the age of 63. The expansion of Mughal Empire was from Mount Hind Kush in the west to Brahmaputra River in the east, and from Mount Himalaya in the north to the Godavari River in the south. Salim took over the Sultanate after 7 days of Akbar's death in the name of Nuruddin Muhammad Jahangir. At the time, he was 36 years old. The first problem Jahangir faced was the revolt of his son Khusro in Punjab. The Sultan's army defeated him at the Jalandhar and arrested him with his secretaries. Khusro died in prison after the punishment of his father in 1622. Jahangir killed Aryan Singh, the leader of Sikh religion, because he had helped Khusro in the revolt. By this activity, the followers of Sikh religion became enemies of Sultan. They were supporters of Sultanate. He suppressed the revolutions in Bengal. Bengal was under the control of Afghans. After defeating them, their leader Sir Afghan was killed. Then Jahangir married his wife Maymuniza, who known as Nurjahan. The loss of Kandahar was the great loss to Jahangir. Shah Jahan, son of Jahangir, began to revolt against his father because he hated Nurjahan's behavior. But the revolt was suppressed and Jahangir compromised with Shah Jahan. Jahangir was died in 1627 when he returned from Kashmir to Lahore. A conflict occurred among the children of Jahangir about the inheritors. Shah Jahan won in this dispute to take over the rule. Shah Jahan conquered Hooghly, the center of Portuguese, in Bengal in 1632. And he conquered Kandahar also in 1638. He terminated Sultanate of Nizam-Shah in Ahmednagar. The kings of Bijapur and Golconda recognized the power of Mughals. They agreed with Shah Jahan. The fight began among Shah Jahan's 4 children when he fell ill. The final success was to Aurangazib Jahangir. He arrived in Agra and imprisoned his father Shah Jahan in 1658. Aurangazib took over the rule at the age of 40. The important incident in his rule was his attack on Assam. He could suppress all the problems that arose in the northern and western regions. He suppressed the Portuguese in the Bay of Bengal. He fought many times to Maharashtra, which is under Shivaji. Aurangazib was died when he returned to Deccan in Ahmednagar in 1707. Aurangazib was a great ruler among the rulers of Mughal Empire. The Mughal Empire developed its highest development during the reign of Aurangazib. He had love, justice and responsibility to people. He didn't use government treasuries for his personal matters. He earned the money by copying Quran. Muhammad Zen, son of Aurangazib, took over the rule in 1707. Muhammad Zen is known Bahadur Shah and Shah Alam I. When Bahadur Shah died, problems arose between his 4 sons. The final success was to Bahadur Shah, but he had no ability to rule, and he was killed by one of his heirs. Then took over the rule, Muhammad Shah, son of Bahadur Shah. The power of Marathas increased during his reign, and a huge region of central India became under their control. They conquered Gujarat in 1731. The Mughal Empire became weak, so Nader Shah utilized this opportunity. He defeated the Mughals in the Battle of Tanazwar. Revolutions began all over the country after the attack of Nader Shah. The next ruler was Ahmad Shah after death of Muhammad Shah in 1748. He couldn't defend the collapse of Mughal Empire. The next ruler was Ali Jahangir. He was known as Alam II. British strength gradually increased in this time. They killed Siraj-ud-Daulah, governor of Bengal, in the Battle of Plassey in 1757. The British defeated Shah Alam and arrested him in 1764. Shah Alam came to Delhi with the help of Marathas from the British. But he was like a doll in the hands of Marathas. After him, his son Akbar II took the rule in 1806. When he died, in the following year, Bahadur Shah II, the next ruler, had only a small region to rule. In this time the revolution, known as the First Freedom Struggle against British raised in 1857. He was the leader of this revolution. But the British suppressed the revolution and arrested him. They charged on him the crime of revolution. They exiled him to Rangoon in Myanmar. After his death, the Mughal Empire ended in 1862.